So today's webinar has been set up to broaden knowledge about the Construction Industry Culture Standard, which has been developed to operate as part of government procurement and has been trialled and researched over the past 2 years. So we're going to hear about the research findings to date, the experience in the pilots from contractors and delivery agencies. We're going to hear some observations from early adopters and our work on supporting implementation with guidance tools, and then what's next. As part of the program, we thought it was important to complete a cost-benefit analysis. It is showing that there's no evidence of projects' cost or timelines being negatively affected.
We were hearing from industry a whole series of problems around skills shortages, around cost escalations, around overheating in the market, and around problems with procurement. The crisis of culture within the sector and what needed to change. And it was a huge call to arms for us that led to the initial mobilisation of the Construction Industry Culture Taskforce.
The primary funding entities of the task force are those three bodies, the ACA, the New South Wales and Victorian governments, and their support over these years. Other jurisdictions have now joined the task force: South Australia, Western Australia, Queensland and the ACT. This does create a level playing field for proponents. It requires delivery agencies to lean in to be part of the solution and to develop mutual accountability. The culture standards are a flexible framework for clients and contractors to address those cultural issues, to help make infrastructure construction particularly, but construction more generally, an industry chosen by more people. Now, it's a myth that the standard strictly requires Monday to Friday work regime, or that it's all about mysterious women's business. As I said, compliance with the standard comes in many forms, but a lot of it is in the hands of proponents to actually comply with the standard in their own way.
Findings showed us is that the culture standard is not prescriptive, with a positive response once they had experienced the benefit.
So the overarching approach to the CICT program, we centred around communication. We understood that by communicating the intention of what we were trying to achieve, we would naturally get the buy-in from those involved.
They're all working, the 50-hour, 5-day weeks, every single week, the same RDOs, 21 days less per year, and getting equivalent pay far exceeded all those targets.
What the culture standard delivered for us was a really high level of commitment very early on.
The initiatives have been a resounding success, and it's evident that the culture change is possible.
We're mad if we don't all get on board. I don't see why we couldn't just roll this culture standard out.
Moved our focus towards implementation and adoption of the standard, the continued engagement with jurisdictions nationally to support planning for the adoption of the standard, and also the development of support materials and resources.
We decided to give ourselves a 12-month trial where we have included the CICT in every one of our major tenders, working in partnership with industry to help move things forward. So we're in the middle of this trial, so we're still sort of working our way through it. We've had a really interesting response.
We just want to roll it out, ensure that we do have a consistent approach. We measure safety, we measure time, we measure cost, but this is also how we measure cultures.
Just to reiterate, continuing to do the same is just not an option, and our pilot project, here they are, show us that change is possible, practical and beneficial. We think the culture standard has a very strong part to play in repositioning the industry, making it more attractive and providing a much better environment for our people. I'm treating you all as ambassadors now for the work that we've been doing, so hopefully this is a step up in spreading the word.